Welcome back. Welcome back. We're going to do a spark plug change on a 2017 Honda Odyssey. These are 2011 to 2017. From what I read is the same thing. So I've got a flathead screwdriver. I've got my socket wrench with a 6-inch extension, a 10mm socket. I've got copper anti-seize compound, and I've got two separate spark plug sockets. These are just standard 5/8. I've got one that's got the little rubber thing inside and one without, and I'll show you why later. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my flathead screwdriver and pop these two little tabs off the engine cover and remove it. I'll remove it and start filming. All right, so here's the cover pulled off. So when you go to pull it off, just reach to the back side of it and pull straight up. You can see these two holes right here. All you've got is these little rubber things holding these posts in these holes. These are your two screw holes. So that comes off pretty easy. Just pull it up real hard. Okay, so here are our ignition coils. There's 1, 2, and 3. The first thing you do is push that little clip. Push that in. As you push in, pull up, and it should pop right off, or not. All right, so to get the wire off the ignition coil, push that little tab in and pull up on, while you push in, pull up, and it should come right off. There you go. 5 more to go. So once you get the wires off the ignition coils, the next step is to unscrew these nuts. There's one on each coil. Use a 10mm socket. Okay, so once you get the nut off, all you got to do is lift straight out on the coil, and it'll come right out. You may have to wiggle it, work it around to get it to come all the way out, but it'll come right out. There it is. Okay, so for this third one right here, you need to lift up on the hood release to give you some space right back in here to get the coil out of the way. All right, so here's where your spark plug sits. And because I need a 6-inch extension to go down in there, if I put my 5-inch spark plug socket down with the extension attached to it, it won't fit. So I know the spark plug's down there. I'm just gonna drop it down the hole. Put the extension in there and press down just a little bit to get it seated onto that little rubber grommet, and it'll hold it when you pull it out. All right, so I've got it loosened. So now what I'm gonna do is pull the extension up just enough to get to the socket and separate them without letting go of the socket. And since I've got that little rubber grommet in there, it pulls the spark plug out with it. You can see it right down in there. So before I put the new spark plug in, I'm gonna spread some copper anti-seize compound on the threads. And this will help you get it out when you have to change them again. So once you get the spark plug situated into the hole, tighten it by hand a couple of turns, and then I like to go ahead and pull this spark plug socket out change it out for the other one, because sometimes that rubber grommet, that sucker will get stuck in there and you won't be able to get it out. Okay, so once you get the spark plug tight, get your torque wrench, and we're going to tighten it to 192 inch-pounds, which is 16 foot-pounds. Mine is marked in inches, so just tighten it until it clicks. And there it is, done. Okay, so once you get the spark plug torqued down, take your coil, put it in there, push it down so it's seated. Take your wiring harness, fit it back down onto the coil, and make sure it clicks. And there's one done. Take your nut, 10mm nut, put it back on there, and we're going to tighten it to 9 foot-pounds, or 108 inch-pounds. And that's it. 5 more to go, and you're done. All right, so an update on progress. So I counted how many turns, roughly, that I had to turn the socket to get the spark plug in. So it was 35 and 8, so 43, roughly. So the threads are long. It'll take you a minute, but you can get it done. Okay, so on this number 3, the one that hits the hood latch release, I had to use two 3-inch extensions. And the reason why is on my 6-inch, when I went to pull the spark plug out, I have no room to get the any of it out. So I'm gonna get these out one at a time. I'll pull it up just a little bit, pull this one off, then pull this one off, and then pull the spark plug socket off to get this one out. Okay, so for these back 3, you don't have a whole lot of room. You are on the back side of the engine. There, right there, is the top of my second 3-inch extension. And in order to get my torque wrench back there, I had to use this little sucker. Comes in really handy when you're doing this and when you're changing your transmission fluid. So you might want to pick one of those up. Okay, so some quick notes on these back 3. First, when you put your coil back in, make sure the wiring harness is out of the way as you push the coil pack back down. Otherwise, you may get that harness stuck under the coil pack and you won't be able to get it all the way down. These first 2 were they were okay. This back one, this hose is in the way, so you spend a lot of time wrestling with the hose. I found it easy, just push it down out of the way, and you can get the coil pack in and out, spark plug in and out, all that. It's okay. Also, the threads are like, they took these spark plugs and they just moved them like this. So they didn't change the threads. So don't think that these back here are opposite of those. It's just like you moved them to there and you're still going to the left to loosen the thing and right to tighten it. Other than that, done. I'll let you know in a minute how long it took me. Oh, and another small note. I don't have any of the little nuts that go on the ignition coils up here or around here. I stuck those suckers on the floor. That way I don't lose them, hopefully. Last one is right there. All right, there it is, back together. I ran it, runs good. I'd say hood up to hood down, maybe an hour and a half. I'll do it again. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.